Aquarium keeping and maintenance. Why do people keep aquariums? Replicating a natural environment in a small volume of water can be a very exciting, rewarding, and calming experience. The development in aquarium equipment technologies over the past 3 decades means that aquarium keeping has become more accessible and achievable. Freshwater, brackish, and marine environments can be replicated and maintained in an aquarium by following appropriate maintenance procedures. Aquarium equipment. Tanks. Fish tanks must provide enough room for the fish to select, grow, and thrive. Filters. What is a filter? A filter is a compartment that contains media that houses denitrifying bacteria, which actively break down waste that is produced by living organisms in the aquarium. Waste is excreted by all living organisms in the form of ammonia. Ammonia is actively broken down by the nitrifying bacteria into nitrite, which is then broken down by the bacteria into nitrate. Nitrate is a nutrient that is required by plants for photosynthesis. Some filter media will remove nitrate from the water. Live plants in a freshwater aquarium and macroalgae in a saltwater aquarium will also remove some nitrate. Marine Pure is the leading filter media on the market that actively removes ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate from aquarium waters. Filter size is also important. The filter must be big enough to house the adequate amount of media that is required to remove the amount of waste that is produced by the fish. Large fish or a high number of fish will produce more waste and is therefore essential to have an adequate size filter. Freshwater aquariums should have the total volume in a tank pass through the filter at least 5 times per hour. Saltwater aquariums should have a total tank volume of water pass through the filter at least 10 times per hour. Therefore, a 150-liter marine aquarium filter should have a pump that pumps at least 1,500 liters per hour through the filter. Filter maintenance. All filters should have a sponge filter wool to catch mechanical waste from the tank, in example, leftover food. This should be replaced weekly or when it starts to become clogged. Filter media should be washed with tank water only every 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the amount of fish in the tank. Aquariums containing large fish or a high number of fish need to have the filters cleaned more regularly than those containing few small fish. Oxygen. Oxygenation is a vital part of aquarium keeping success. Water surface agitations provide gas exchange between the water-air surfaces. Pointing water circulators up towards the surface will agitate the water surface. Air pumps with air stones on the bottom of the tank also provide good oxygenation. If carbonate hardness levels in a marine aquarium are correct and pH is lower than desired level, this may indicate that the water is not sufficiently oxygenated. Protein skimmers. Protein skimmers remove excess protein waste from saltwater marine aquariums by pushing air bubbles through the column of moving water. The protein adhere to the air bubbles and are carried up to a catch of some sort, a cup or bowl. This catch can be removed and cleaned. Water quality. Each type of fish has particular water parameter requirements. It is important to understand and provide the fish you want to keep with the correct conditions. These include temperature, pH, KH, ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, and also calcium, phosphate, and salt level for marine aquariums. This means that not all fish should be kept together and you need to match up the conditions you are providing with the requirements of the fish that you wish to keep. Temperature. While most tropical freshwater community fish and cichlids prefer a temperature range of 24 to 26 degrees Celsius, some fish like discus and tetras prefer warmer waters of around 27 to 28 degrees Celsius. Temperature water fish such as goldfish and koi, and Australian natives such as bass, perch, and yabbies do not need a heater as they prefer the natural seasonal fluctuations in temperature. Tropical marine fish and corals prefer temperatures of 24 to 28 degrees Celsius, however 25 to 26 degrees Celsius is optimal. pH. pH refers to how acid or basic the water is, and different aquarium organisms prefer different pH levels. The following are some examples of the pH ranges preferred by different fish species. Marine fish, 8.2 to 8.6. African cichlids, 7.8 to 8.2. Australian natives, 7.0 to 7.6. Community fish, live breeders, gouramis, barbs, guppies, etc. 7.0 to 7.6. Softwater fish, discus, some catfish, tetras, anglefish, ghost knife fish, rams, and etc. 6.0 to 6.8. Carbonate hardness, KH. A carbonate hardness KH test is a test of carbonate and bicarbonate extent contained in a sample of water. It affects all aquaria, both salt and fresh. The carbonate hardness of water is an important measurement, both in fresh water and marine, because the level of carbonate hardness is the basis for the value of the pH in a given sample of water. A strong carbonate hardness reserve in water can mean a very stable pH and the bonus of an alternative supply of carbonate dioxide for plants and algae if supply runs short in an aquarium. Specific KH powders should be purchased according to the requirements of the fish kept in the aquarium. The following are some examples of optimal KH ranges for different fishes, measured in degrees of carbonate hardness DKH. Marine fish, 10 to 14 DKH. African cicelids, 9 to 12 DKH. Other freshwater fish, 3 to 6 DKH. General hardness, GH. This is the measure of how much dissolved minerals your water contains, which is mostly calcium and magnesium, but also contains other mineral ions. Incorrect GH can affect fish and crustacean health in many ways. It can affect the function of internal organs and hinder proper growth, as well as affect egg fertility and hinder breeding capacity. Sometimes fish can adapt to survive in different GH levels, but almost always it will stop them from breeding properly. Conditioning salts can be used in freshwater aquariums to allow these essential minerals to be available to the fish. Reef elements. Coral reef aquariums require several important elements for the growth and health of corals. Calcium and magnesium are the two most important. However, trace elements such as strontium, potassium, iron, and manganese are also required in small amounts. Salinity. The salinity of a marine tank is very important and needs to be monitored regularly. A fish-only marine tank should have a constant salinity of 1.020. As a lower salinity decreases the stress placed on a fish's osmotic system and therefore increases immunity. Reef aquariums should be kept at a salinity of 1.025, except for when new fish are being added, in which case salinity should always be lowered to 1.020 and remain there for at least 4 weeks after a new fish has been introduced. Maintenance. Feeding. It is important to offer your fish the best quality food possible. Variety may be valuable, but is no substance for quality. The best quality food on the market is new Live Spectrum, which delivers the exact ratios of nutrition required by all fish. Nutrition deficiency can cause diseases such as fin rot and will severely affect the health of fish within the aquarium. Large predatory fish, example, lionfish, barramundi, are often only fed carnivorous feeds. However, it is essential to include vitamin-based feeds, such as Spectrum, into their diet. Plants need to be fed with fertilizers as well as the correct amount of iron and carbon nutrients. Corals need to be fed with a variety of coral foods, such as liquid reef energy, coral snow, and plankton. Cleaning and water changes. Depending on the size of the aquarium, a 25 to 30% water change should be done every 2 to 4 weeks. Smaller tanks require more regular water changes as waste concentrations build up quickly in a small water volume. When removing this water from the tank, a gravel siphon should be used to remove waste caught in the gravel. It is important to replenish essential water chemicals when putting new water into a tank. Testing the KH and GH of a freshwater tank will allow you to estimate how much of these chemicals need to be added to the water. Testing the salinity of a marine tank is especially important when doing a water change, as fresh water may need to be added to counteract unwanted increases in salinity. Calcium and KH should also be tested and adjusted with water changes on a marine tank. Excess algae on the glass of an aquarium can be removed with an aquarium safe sponge.